Hello everyone, welcome into another episode of the Bucks franchise. This is LDJ11 and this week we're going to do the playoffs and show off a little bit of the Super Bowl. We're going to start off though by firing Coach Bob Bates, our offensive coordinator. We were the worst offense in the NFL, so we decided to fire him. The first matchup we're going to look at in the playoffs is Kansas City versus the Browns. They end up winning that one 31-17, and as you can see, Kansas City was pretty much in control in this one. Patrick Mahomes never turned the ball over. Deshaun Watson, on the other hand, did throw 2 interceptions in this game, and Nick Chubb was solid on the ground, which you'd expect out of him. Marquez Valdez-Scantling was fantastic through the air with 164 yards and 3 scores. That's pretty awesome. You got to give the man credit for that. And then you look at the defense. Frank Clark and George Karlaftis each had sacks. Now, let's take a look at the Baltimore-Cincinnati game, and as you can see, Baltimore won this one. It was a close-fought matchup. 27-24 was your final. Lamar Jackson and the Ravens did just enough to be able to pull this one out and keep moving on in the playoffs. This is something that's kind of been a bugaboo for the Ravens ever since Joe Burrow got healthy for the Bengals. He's been able to knock them out and keep them from advancing in the playoffs. Now we're going to look at Las Vegas and Tennessee, and as you can see, Vegas wins this one 30-20, and they move on into the second round. That's pretty shocking. I definitely expected Tennessee to win. Maybe it's just because I'm stuck with how Vegas is in real life, and I'm concerned that they have a few more years than this in order to be able to contend. However, getting Geno Smith was perfect for Vegas, and it seems to be exactly what they needed in this universe. Geno did do a number for Seattle in real life, so I guess he went ahead and did it for the Raiders in this one. Now we're going to flip it over and look at Washington-Chicago, and the 7 seed upset the 2 seed. Washington knocks off Chicago 37-26. That was kind of shocking. Chicago, though, I think was a little overrated as a 2 seed. We were able to keep our game close against them, and if you know anything about this series, this year we were terrible with the Bucks. So in week 18, when we were able to push the Bears to the limit, I felt pretty good about them being able to be knocked off as Green Bay beats Atlanta in your next game 27-20. Will Levis gets a playoff victory as a rookie. However, he beat Daniel Jones, so kind of not shocking there. Daniel Jones sucks. Whether it be real life or not, I just think he's not a great NFL quarterback. Of course, he's better than I am at quarterback. Everybody knows that. If I was an NFL quarterback, I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you on a video game right now. I'm not that good, but he sucks in comparison to the rest of the NFL quarterbacks, and in real life, they were crazy for paying him. At least in this universe, the Giants were smart and they didn't pay him. So our next playoff game's a 9-6 victory for the LA Rams over the Detroit Lions. That is your Jared Goff and Matt Stafford rematch, and the Rams come out on top in this one. You know, I'm not that shocked by it just because of the Rams offense in Madden. They always seem to do good on offense, and Cooper Kupp is amazing in the game, so it doesn't shock me at all that they were able to win. Plus, they still have stars like Aaron Donald on their team, so that'll always help you out in the game of Madden, and you know, so that makes sense. So now we're going to move to the second round. We see the Eagles take on the Commanders, and the Commanders take down the number 1 seed Eagles. This looks like a pretty high scoring affair, and you got to give Jacoby Brissett a lot of credit. He's now won 2 playoff games as the Commanders starting quarterback. I would not have predicted that coming in, and honestly, it's kind of shocking to see the Commanders knock off the Eagles, but that's what happens sometimes. Like I said, you got to give credit to Jacoby Brissett, and now they're going to go to the championship game, and we'll see who they take on next. It looks like overall, I mean, the Eagles got a lot of pressure. They just couldn't pull it off, and they had 2 turnovers, and that tends to hurt you. And their opponent's going to be the LA Rams, who knocked off the Packers. This has got to be the most Madden championship game ever, with Baker Mayfield leading up against Jacoby Brissett to try to get to the Super Bowl. I never would have seen this coming. I mean, rookie Will Levis, I'm not surprised, couldn't get Green Bay over the top, but I was certain it was going to be Jalen Hurts getting the Eagles, and then the Eagles would take down the Rams. I guess I was wrong, but I didn't expect that one. Over in the AFC, Baltimore beats the Bills 23-10, and it looks like Josh Allen was just dreadful in this one, and he couldn't hold his weight against the Baltimore Ravens defense. So that means their season's over, and once again, you're left questioning, can Josh Allen get this Bills team over the top? I do understand that he got hurt and Mike White finished this game, but still, it just didn't look like he did enough for him, even while he was healthy. So it is what it is. You gotta face that. That's kind of looking like who Josh Allen is, the guy who can't finish. We'll see though. Lamar Jackson was that guy, and it looks like he's headed to the championship game to take on the Kansas City Chiefs, and I'm not shocked that they knocked off the Raiders and Geno Smith. I really didn't expect the Raiders to be able to get there, and I really didn't expect them to even make it this far. So overall, it's a pretty good season for the Raiders, and the Chiefs get to go on and take on the Baltimore Ravens in the championship game. I do know that you guys are going to be able to figure out who's in the Super Bowl prior to getting to this point, but I want to really show off how it unfolded and make it so that way each team kind of comes to life a little bit. That's why I'm doing it like this. So it's going to be the Ravens and the Chiefs, and the winner of that's the Ravens. They're going to head to the Super Bowl to take on the NFC champion. You'll find out who that is next. That was a shock. I just expected Kansas City in this to be able to take over like they always do in Madden. It's shocking that they didn't, but I'm glad to see the Ravens be able to make it. The only thing I did different is I watched the first and the fourth quarter and simulated the middle two, so it wasn't completely on the sim engine, and I guess that helped out. Now we're going to take a look at the NFC, and as you can see, the Rams are going to the Super Bowl, winning this one 24-10. Jacoby Brissett did his best. He didn't have any turnovers, so that's good. Baker Mayfield was just a little better. It's hard to believe that Baker Mayfield's heading to the Super Bowl to take on Lamar Jackson. You would think if this was a couple years ago that this was maybe the AFC Championship game. I never would have guessed that this would be your Super Bowl matchup. Baker Mayfield would be leading the Rams to the Super Bowl. We'll have to see who wins it. It's a 4 and a 6. No one would have seen this one coming, and I can't predict because I already know who won it, but you'll find out here shortly. We got some awards in the Pro Bowl to go through first. First up's going to be the Pro Bowl teams. You'll see that here in a second. We'll scroll through it and we'll talk a little bit as we go. First, you can see Jalen Hurts, Dak Prescott, and CJ Stroud represent the AFC, and in the NFC, it's Pat Mahomes, Josh Allen, and Joe Burrow leading the way for quarterbacks. As we scroll through, you're not going to see a whole lot of crazy things so far. George Pickens made it. That's pretty good. Darius Slayton surprised me a little bit. Foster Moreau getting in was a bit of a shock, but it hasn't been too crazy. Like I said, for Bucks so far, the only two we have are our wide receivers. That's Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. Honestly, they had a great season, so I'm not surprised that they were able to get into the Pro Bowl. They were fantastic. We were able to get them the ball and get yards. We just couldn't stop turning it over. And honestly, we had like a rotating chair of quarterbacks going throughout, so I'm not that shocked. On the defensive side, unless I missed it, I don't see anybody. We did get Jake Moody, our kicker, into the Pro Bowl. Not shocking. He was good. He hit a bunch of bombs, so I'm not surprised by that. Now we're going to take a look at the MVP award and all the other awards. Dak Prescott won the MVP for the 8-9 Cowboys. I don't understand how he won the award, honestly. I kind of hate that he got it. He's on a losing team. What were he the MVP of? I just don't understand that decision. Nick Sirianni won it for the Eagles for Coach of the Year. Now we're going through the AFC players, and as you can see, Jonathan Taylor won the Offensive Player of the Year for his new team, the Buffalo Bills. He was also the top running back, and of course, Pat Mahomes was the top quarterback in the AFC. Nobody's shocked by that. Really, Christian Fulton's maybe your first big shock on the offensive side, or the AFC side, I guess I should say. On the NFC, CJ Stroud and Henry To'oTo'o won the Offensive and Defensive Rookie of the Year awards, respectively. And outside of them, so far, there really isn't that many shockers, I would say. You kind of expect it. Marcus May really helped his case by playing us multiple times, and that really helped his case to win the Best DB award for the NFC. He did have a great season. You got to give him credit. Now we're headed to the Super Bowl as the Rams are the away team, and Baker Mayfield, Cam Akers, and their defense, somehow they don't show Aaron Donald, take on Lamar Jackson and the Ravens offense consisting of J.K. Dobbins. And then let's look at this defense. That's Roquan Smith in the middle. This one here is taking place at Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas, Nevada. What a great place to have a Super Bowl located. That has to be an excellent setup, and they have to have a great time. We'll have to see if they're focused for this one, and the Rams are going to open up with the ball as well. Now this episode here is going to be pretty chopped down. We're not going to show this whole game. We're not even going to show whole quarters, honestly. I'm not interested in that. We're going to show the first offensive drive for both the Rams and the Ravens, and then we're going to jump straight into the point. If they get inside the red zone, or they're moving the ball, or a big play happens like a turnover, I'm going to jump in and I'm going to show that off to you. And then if the game's tight at the end, we'll get back into this and we'll start focusing a little bit heavier. If not, I'm not worried about it. I'll bring you back in right at the end of the game and we'll watch the celebration, and we'll see the winner of this game hoist the Lombardi Trophy and celebrate a victory for this first season. Now, I have to hurry up and speed this series along. Honestly, I've taken too long trying to get used to how to do Madden series. I'm kind of figuring it out more, and I've learned some quirks and how to do things. So I do think it'll be easier for me once Madden 24 comes out to be able to make this work and get a little bit quicker at the commentary and getting videos out quicker. If I have to, I'll go to the format I used at the end of this season, which is what this series is going to be going forward, which is multiple episodes basically in one video. So I'm going to play every game, but I'm not going to show you every game. I'm only going to try to show you the best game of however many I play. So you'll have to see how that works out. Hopefully you guys like it. The Rams here, I gotta say, are on a drive so far. They're moving the ball pretty well, and they're looking to take an early lead against Baltimore. Baker's been smart and efficient with the ball. He hasn't had any incompletions yet, as he fires that one out there to Cooper Kupp, and he makes that 5 in a row for 45 yards to open this up. On 2nd and 5, he checks it down underneath. That's Cooper Kupp setting up a 3rd and short. That's perfect, honestly. Only needing 1 yard's a good scenario to be in. Baker's standing in the pocket. There's no pressure. He gets smart and checks it down. That's Van Jefferson with the catch out to the 20-yard line. And another Rams first down. So they decide to go to the ground game. They hand it to Cam Akers, and he's stuffed up. He only picks up one. So they go back to the shotgun. You know Sean McVay likes to throw it. Baker somehow completes that to Tyler Higbee. However, that's not a positive play. So it's a 3rd and 9 now for the Rams, and they're going to have to try to get into the end, basically into the 10-yard line to get a first down, and they couldn't do it. So it's 4th and 10. They kick this field goal up and good. The Rams are going to take a 3-0 lead here early in this Super Bowl. As you look at Lamar Jackson taking the field, he has 21 passing touchdowns to 10 interceptions, 3,200 passing yards. I wish they would show off his rushing statistics, because you know that's definitely the strongest part of his game. I mean, he's a good passer and all, but that rushing is exactly what makes Lamar so dynamic. This first drive doesn't look like it's going too well for the Ravens. They get pushed back to a long 3rd and 11. That's definitely not the situation you want to be in, but Lamar confidently fires that down the sideline. However, it's broken up. So we're going to go straight to the end of the first quarter. Nothing exciting happened here. It's still 3-0, and we're going to simulate the next 2 quarters. We'll get you back in after the 3rd quarter, and we'll jump into the 4th quarter if there's any scenarios that pop up. At halftime, it's 10-6 in this Super Bowl. Rams have the lead. I do think in the future, though, that I may show the whole Super Bowl and just show all the scoring. It'll take me a little longer and make me do a little bit more editing, but I think it'll be better as we enter into the 4th quarter with a 17-9 Rams lead. They have the ball. There's about 10 minutes left in this game, but they're inside of the red zone. It's now 3rd and 2 for Baker Mayfield, and he's standing in the pocket, not feeling any pressure. He has all day. You gotta wonder, are the Rams gonna do anything? And then he finally finds a man open. That's Allen Robinson getting down to the 3-yard line, setting up a 1st and goal that the Rams are gonna throw on, and Baker's moving around in the pocket, and he fumbles the ball. Are you kidding me, Baker? That's a big mistake. Luckily, their offensive lineman Stowbridge was able to pick it up, so that sets up a 2nd and goal now from the 19-yard line. If I was Baker or the Rams, I'd be checking it down. However, it doesn't matter. He finds out of the slot position Tutu Atwell, and he gets into the end zone. The Rams are leading 23-9. Let's see if they can hit this extra point to extend their lead up to 24-9, which is a pretty good position to be in, and it is good. Rams are going to lead 24-9. That forces the Ravens to have to score 2 touchdowns and get a 2-point conversion in there, because they're down by 15 points right now. Lamar doing his best, throws it here, but that was a 4th down play, and that's incomplete with 6 minutes left. And they don't get the ball back until 2 minutes and 30 seconds left in this game, and then they run it to bring it to the 2-minute warning. I never understood that. However, they're at the 18-yard line looking to score here. Lamar in the pocket, scrambling around, doing what he does a little bit here, taking his time. He ends up smartly throwing it away. I think he should have took off and run. That's his superpower, so why not use it? And then right there, he's lucky he didn't get picked off. That was a poor decision, bringing up a 3rd and 10 for the Ravens that he will convert, getting it down there. Honestly, I don't know who number 2 is, and I can't look back at the roster right now. And that pass was to number 2 again into the end zone and incomplete, bringing up a 2nd and goal here. Lamar's looking to pass it, and he hits his man. That's a touchdown. Baltimore is going to be able to get themselves within 8 points if they can hit this extra point, making it 24-16. It is up, and it is good. Justin Tucker, you don't expect to miss that. So they now have to go for an onside kick that the Rams will recover. Now all the Ravens can do is stop them and hopefully keep them out of field goal range. The Ravens have all 3 timeouts, so let's see what happens here on 1st down. Cam Akers only picks up 2, and the Ravens quickly call a timeout. So on 2nd down, they go back to Akers, and nobody stops him. That's going to be it for this one. The Rams just secured themselves and Sean McVay their 2nd Super Bowl underneath him. What a great day for the LA Rams. What a great job by Baker Mayfield. Who would have ever thought he'd be the one to stabilize them? I wonder if that's going to force the Rams into giving him a big contract in the offseason, because he is going to be a free agent after this. He only returned on a 1-year deal, so I don't know. It's kind of weird. He ended up overtaking Matt Stafford on the depth chart due to regression. So Stafford's still on the team, but he's not the one winning it. You can see him celebrating there in the background, but it's Baker Mayfield who did a great job for the Rams. He is up there on the podium. You really wouldn't expect him to be the guy to do this. I thought Lamar was going to get his moment today, but somehow it's Baker, and wearing number 16 up there with Sean McVay holding that Lombardi trophy. This was a fun season, except for if you're a Bucs fan, it was kind of rough for us. So hopefully next season's better. Next thing up that you'll see will be the off-season part 1. That's going to include free agents and stuff like that. And then after that, we're going to do the draft. I want it to be its own episode just because I want to show some images of the guys in their college uniforms. And I don't want the episode to be too long in the off season. I want to start getting these out a little bit more regularly. And if that means I have to break it down a little bit to get through it and make the videos and post them, that's what I'll do. Ultimately though, I just need to get through some of this and try my best to get a few seasons under my belt before Madden 4 comes out. I'm super excited for Madden 24. I haven't decided on my team yet. You guys will find that out when I'm ready to show it off. I can't wait to get my hands on that game and just see how it feels and what's different about it. So we'll have to see. I still have fun focusing on this series for now and trying to get some of our guys from our Kent Williams Carousel Dynasty the recognition they deserve and finish out their careers. But as you can see, all the awards and stuff are on this screen right here. I'm LDJ11. Thank you for watching this season of the Bucs franchise. I'll be back at you with off-season part 1 coming soon. Have a great day. Please like and subscribe. I'm out.
And sometimes you just gotta believe there's something that'll give you relief. There's something that'll have what you need, what you need. We're broken, it's tragic, we're not all elastic, but maybe there's magic, believe you could have it.